and a little rash, and maybe a little bit of hydrocortisone will relieve that itch, but usually our immune system fight them off within 24, 48 hours, we get rid of it. No problem. And that's what they call it, swimmer's itch, because the cercaria is from birds. And as you can see, I did not underline it purposely, because it's not the name of scientific name of any organism. I put the D as a capital D. Am I making some sense? I did everything that you would know this is not scientific name of any special organism. These are scientific names, right? You all know what I'm talking about. Not this guy. Okay? So, swimmer's itch, and it causes ulceration. What method of biological control can you think of? How we can control these organisms, these parasites, not using pesticides, not using harsh chemical, biological methods. Have you gone to Home Depot or other stores and you see ladybugs, they sell them in a bag? Have you ever seen that? Have you ever wondered what the heck they're selling live ladybug in Home Depot? Have you seen it? You guys have not, you don't go to Home Depot. There is no reason for you guys to go to Home Depot. I have to go to Home Depot and wander around and keep asking, can you help me? I said, wait, just a minute, can you help me? It's crazy. But anyway, I have to go there. But I see these ladybugs while I'm waiting all the time. I go to Home Depot for an hour, 59 minutes of it I'm waiting. Just 1 second, 1 minute, I get whatever I want done. But anyway, the YouTube people are here. All over this thing. Ladybugs, they sell them because you release them to your garden and they will eat the aphids, they eat the unwanted arthropods in your yard. So what am I suggesting, what I'm asking you guys, what can we introduce to this body of water, right, oh my God, let's go back, right here, this body of water, what can I introduce to discontinue this life cycle? Human poops in the water, and the cercaria comes up, metacercaria, Meracidium comes and finds the snail, and out of the snail you have cercaria. Cercaria penetrates human skin, and the cycle goes on and on and on. How can I stop this? The what? Yeah, a fish, or maybe a crayfish, something that eats the snail in that body of water. You guys are worrying, how could that be? Well, in the rice fields, rice fields, people, the water is in there. So that's how most people catch it. They go to the rice field to pick up rice or implant rice in the rice fields. Right here, you have schistosoma. They become, and those people who work in the rice fields, you think they go to the outhouse and they poop? No, they say, oh, it's a fertilizer, nice fertilizer for the rice, right? Am I making some sense? The life cycle goes on, and the rice fields have this snail. The life cycle goes on and on and on in those countries. Here is the general life cycle by CDC of the schistosoma, male and female. And then, of course, the snail, they do not have those stages that I mentioned. They have the spore. They have the sporocyst and cercaria. Inside of the sporocyst, you have few cercaria, and they get out, and then, of course, they penetrate into human skin. So, how does this organisms? It's not by eating fish. Is that right? It's not by vegetation. Is that right? It's by what? This cercaria penetrate human skin. Either here or on the arms, wherever. Wherever. It penetrates skin and eventually end up in wherever it's supposed to go. If it is Japanicum, goes to large intestine. Mansoni, it goes to small intestine. If it finds its way. If it is hematobium, goes to the urinary bladder. I hope I'm making some sense, everybody. Here they are. This is a figure of the cuts of the liver, schistosoma hepatica fibrosis. I should have put it. This is the liver rot I was talking about. These white nodules, you will see it. The USDA inspectors see these, the white nodules. They are not supposed to be in the liver. They see them in the liver. They say, this animal cannot go to the food chain. It cannot. They will not send it to the market. You know, store sell liver. You go to Food for Less or any other places, you have some liver. This is the dwarfing that can happen by schistosoma as well. This person is 13 years old. That person is 24 years old, and it caused dwarfism. The schistosomas. Okay, of course they have a big belly, and maybe due to schistosomiasis or something else. And look, they are almost the same age, the same height, not same age. They are not same age. This person has been dwarfed. The World Health Organization, you all know about that, the WHO, proclaimed once 6 major diseases. Schistosomiasis is one of them. Malaria is another one. You studied these. Filariasis, we'll come back to it and study it later on, next exam material. Trypanosomiasis. Leishmaniasis. Out of these 6 diseases, 5 of them are parasites. Out of those 5, you studied 4 of them in this class, so far. And they're claiming a lot of lives each year. I have a table for you guys. I'll put it up. Leprosy, it's surprising me. Leprosy is still a problem in the world, right? I guess based on these guys. When I saw this, I was surprised that leprosy is one of them still. Okay. Perganomus westermani. It's a parasite of the lung fluke. This is called lung fluke. It's in the lungs. And what happens with this parasite, the adult resides in the lungs, right? And then, of course, we get it by eating crab meat, crayfish, crab meat from lakes, rivers. And then what happens, we humans cough up the egg of this parasite. These are the adult parasites in the lungs. How do eggs get out? One way, by coughing up the egg to our sputum, and we put it in the water, in the lake, pond, river. That's one way. The other way, some people are polite and nice, right? And they cough up the egg, they swallow it, right? How many times you coughed up something and then you swallowed it? Many times. Don't tell me, oh, I mean, that's gross. I cough up something, I put it out. No. There are many times you coughed up something and then you swallowed it. So those eggs go from your respiratory system to what? To digestive system. And then you go ahead, sit down near the river or lake, and you poop. The egg is back in the water. So two ways the egg find their way out into the environment. One, by sputum. I hope I don't gross too many million people. And the other one is by poop. So that's your Perganomus westermani. Can it be found in the United States? Yes. When you go to a resort, you find a crayfish or you find a crab, this is good, let's eat it. Right on the spot, voila, here we go, you get one. That's another one. You remember schistosoma dermatitis? I said when somebody in Toronto went to Stockton, went to the resort. This is the second one, plus the dermatitis. Okay, what else do you have? The lung fluke, what do I have? The crab is intermediate host and human is the final host. And is this, the bad thing about CDC does not flash it out, this is the lung fluke. Yes, I guess this is the lung fluke. Life cycle of lung. And here they are, again. These people are on the banks of the river and they're collecting crayfish. And guess if they have to go poop, where do they poop? Right here. Am I making some sense? You're wondering how these life cycles can go on in people. Right here. You're looking at it. Okay? Or even, I have children. They go on the banks of a river and they find some crayfish, they eat it, and then if they have to poop, where do they poop? Right here. The life cycle completes itself. These organisms are still on planet Earth. Okay, monogenia, let's talk about monogenia and then we stop. All parasitics, this is the subclass monogenia, it means they have only one host. They only have one host. And then all parasitics on gills or external surface and ectoparasitism, and they call it infestation. I don't know if I talked about this at the beginning of semester or not. If a parasite lives outside of the host, it's called ectoparasite, and it causes infestation. If a parasite or a bacteria or what have you is inside of the host, then it causes infection, or it's called endoparasites. So these guys, the monogenia cause infestation, and they are ectoparasites of direct life cycle, single host, monogenia. Mono, it means one, single host. And the egg becomes single larva, becomes oncomericidium adult. We do not have this in the lab, in anything of this class we do not have in lab. But I gave you, the parasite has a structure called opisthothapter. And then I gave you one organism that you'd be familiar with it a little bit, is Gyrodactylus stelliformis. What happens with these parasites, they usually clings onto the gills of fish, and they suck blood with this apparatus, opisthothapter, and when they suck blood and they become adult, then they release themselves from the fish, and then they lay eggs, and the eggs becomes the larva, and the larva becomes oncomericidium. The oncomericidium clings on to the gills of fish, and then becomes suck blood, and then becomes adult. That's pretty much direct life cycle. To me, they only need fish to suck blood. Cestoda, Glenn, let's stop. Cestoda is for next. It's for Tuesday. We'll